the sun shines. And the Schellings went, fuck, materialism out. And that's why
Wow.
Schelling could then say the roots of your that bubbling stuff at the top, what they call neuronal activity, that is just a concentration of systems of such depth, organization. What's the word I'm looking for? Structure, systematology, architectronics, right? But it's dark, right? You're not going to know it, neither through psychology or philosophy. That's Schelling. Hegel thought you could. And that's the conflict they had in their lives until finally it blew up and they broke away from each other. But through their youth, that was it. That there nothing of this order, nothing of this extraordinary complexity of your neuronal, these neuroscientists are into neuromythology because they want to leave all these people I'm talking about out. Fucking good luck. That credible system of the frontal lobes and the neuronal function is a system of such complexity, or you could say this like Bruce Lipton does, the cellular makeup, or the polyvagal. It doesn't really matter. He said is only there because of of unimaginable complexity. But that's not your rotten consciousness because you're only conscious of the top levels. That's spirit's consciousness. Then, going back to where we started today, how did this consciousness become this dynamic that there's a lot below in shadow and there's only this little bit at the top? So Sigmund Freud's going, I thought things would be a lot better. We're very divided. We're very unwholesome. We're very murderous. We're very warlike. So he wasn't, he saw the good side of civilization, but he asked this fundamental question, based again on a lot of what philosophy had said, but a lot of Nietzsche in there as well. Is this experiment we call civilization going to last? Or if there are forces that can bring it down, i.e. the discontentedness, in German it's a much, much, much better way phrased, but whatever imperfections lie within society, which are in the heart of man, how if they're going to bring it down, then how? What can we do to stop it? But he had tears of blood, dude. This was not some frivolous experiment bubbling away in his laboratory. The man had tears of blood in his eyes over this, as did all the great thinkers. And introspection is key to psychology. So when the member asked about who was it, how does a woman, a man deal with do their real shadow work? Wow, that is a huge fucking thing. We've been trying to answer it. Right? It's going to take psychology. You may never see a psychologist your whole life, but you can still do psychology. I'm not telling you to go and sign on for a therapist, but you need to know about the subject. You need to know about it, and you need to know what shadow work is, and you need to know what a self is, and you need to know what typology you are. Astrology is very helpful in that, but Jung has written books on it. And then if you know what typology you are, it helps you enormously understand the levels of other people. You can diagnose where they're at. And if they turn out to be very toxic, socialistically minded nincompoops, okay, they may have covered that over with some marzipan of being a humanitarian and all the rest of it, and they may have good critiques of religion, and I'm for that to a degree. It's not, can't cut it down just black and white. But try to diagnose the person. And then when it comes to working with your own archetypes, we'll be doing more programs on that. This is not the last word by any means. But in the meantime, people, please visit the website, Dragon Mother, pick up the book on adultism. But there's a couple of free chapters, on Dragon Mother. Check those out. Follow up the links on that website. Come back and watch all the other ones we've done on this program. And it's not going to be the last word by any means, on this incredible subject. It's very active. But again, on the existential level, you do have those gateway questions. Who am I? What's life all about? Where am I going? And you do have that mandate. Are you leaving the world, society, in a better state than you found it? I'm not telling you to break your balls and become obsessed by it, right? You do it stoically. Stoically means understanding your limitations as well, not being overly emotionally thrown off kilter by things you have no control over. I'm a stoic. I believe in all of that. I wasn't one, but I soon became one when I realized this edict. But it still means that in a methodical, truly scientific way, you still write, compose, engage with your Mitwelt to improve it. But how the fuck are you going to improve it when the stone in your shoe stops you climbing the mountain? You do not know what the imperfections are within yourself. Well, you'll find them out in relationship. But as we now pointed out very clearly, you can't get into platonic or sexual intimate relationships without a shadow self. So I hope that we've added here, a very new perspective on shadow work, which is essential to the question that she asked. You know, because the way that the shadow work has been presented hitherto, I think is inadequate. It has great, you know, it had truth in it. There's elements of truth in there, but I don't think it's adequate. And so I've long wanted to do something, you know, to articulate something more about Jung, you know, and maybe the best book to pick up on him for beginners is obviously, like I mentioned in the articles, you know, Man and the Symbols. We did that with you know, even mentioned that with Carolyn Riley in the last one. So Man and the Symbols would be a good place to start. And then you can move from there on to anything else, you know, or write to me and I'll give you suggestions and websites and all that kind of thing. I'm synthesizing their work and very much expanding on it. Some of the things I write about are not verbatim in any of these people. I don't care if it's Julian James or Velikovsky. You won't just pick up their books and read, you know, what Michael's saying. I've spent a whole lifetime synthesizing and expanding upon their work, bringing out things that they may have said only in passing. Right? So bear that in mind. It doesn't mean don't stop reading their works, but just bear that in mind that I'm doing a work of incredible synthesis, which would have deeply pondered their ideas to tease out, you know, some of the best ideas and leave some of the shit they're talking about as well. None of these guys are that perfect. Like I said, Freud with his idea the man's just a bestial being, or Erich Fromm with his sort of, you know, a little bit too much socialism and all. But I forgive them that because there's deep, rich secrets that they're bringing to the table, right? Ayn Rand with a little bit extra materialism, you know, and anti-spiritualism. So what? What they're bringing to the table is so delicious. I forgive them the wrapping, right? I don't give a fuck. Okay, brown paper, fuck's sake. Eyes up, couldn't you get something with flowers on it? I'm not like that kind of person. I go, brilliant. Well, I'm not going to eat this beautiful feast that you've made for me because it didn't come wrapped in a box with trumpets. You know, the stupid shit, right? We've talked about all the stupid shit that people go, oh, fucking this and fucking that. Right, then fucking die, fucking perish. Run over to the priest and ask him what it's all about. Is that what you're all about? You know, sorry, mate, we're going deeper and deeper and deeper. But recontextualizing the shadow is monumental because if you don't, you might secretly be trying to divorce it, or you might buy into a paradigm unwittingly, but like the secret crap, right? And all this New Age. New Age is literally churning out. It's literally dispensing, as this Eastern mysticism is, techniques for which everything we've been saying is happening. You're actually severing yourself from the shadow, whether you don't even realize it. But it has such a feeling of elation that you know you're flying around the room. You don't even realize. You think it's spiritual enlightenment that you found. Fuck me. Right? Zardoz, mate. That's the end of civilization. And I'm warning you, you need your dark side. Captain Kirk was right. Don't try to snatch it away from me. I walk with it. It teaches me. And I don't want people around me who have got no shadow. Because they're incapable of entering into a relationship. They may have a simulacra version. They may go through some pretense. Well, that's what's happening today. Well, I'm interested in that. Looking at their empty, gormless faces and their pronouns and their minimized words into all sorts of, like, you know, it's just, they've done, see, like I said, everything is fall through the ground, disappear forever. Language is disappearing. Conversation is disappearing. Eye-to-eye contact is disappearing. Oh, you're negative, Michael. You're so dark. You see, that's where do you think all that comes from? I've had that for years. You asked me a question about, you know, how I kept on going. Because I'm laughing in their fucking faces. I'm serving the fucking truth. I'm serving masters. I don't give a fuck about you and whether you get it or not. But I already know you're not getting it. Because, you know, I've looked back. Teachers 10 times greater than me have already taught you ABCs and you won't take it up. I don't serve your asses. That's what the people have to get through their fucking head. I don't serve you. Whether you're into this stuff or you're not does not bother me one bit. The truth is the truth. I merely dispense it and serve it. Try not to spill a drop. Right? But well, fuck me, I'm not forcing you to drink it. When you lift it, it has to be a personal experience, an idiosyncratic experience. Sometimes, you know, that comes with time. Sometimes you're not ready for a lot of stuff, like I wasn't ready for stuff. But I am not sitting there, you know, sweating bullets over whether you get it or not. I like destruction. If everything has to fall, that's fine by me. I'm into heavy metal, mate. I've no problem fucking seeing it all burn. My alter ego was a church burner. I hope you all realize that. Right? My alter ego, if I wasn't doing the work I was doing, if I hadn't been directed, I'd have either killed or been killed. I don't know how many priests I would have staked through the fucking heart by now. And a couple of social justice warriors thrown into the heap. Just for good measure, right? I've had to hold myself back. It's just I've been too nice. I fucking what's that Ala Cooper song? You know, no more Mr. Nice Guy. I go to my every waking hour. I say that to myself. Please, let me tear them to fucking shreds. Let me stick my boot up their arse. Right? But
Well, you're doing it though,
you make use
Michael.
of the tools at hand.
You're doing it with honestly the most effective weapon you could, which is that you're spitting in all their faces with the truth, and that's how it has to be done. And you're bringing it forward in a way that's using that sword of the psyche. You're using the sword of your heart. You're using, the weapons that are the real weapons, the real spiritual war. So you have been sticking your boot up their arses, and I hope you continue to do it.
Yeah. Well, we've been given the opportunity to do it better than ever, I'd say. Like I said, I really mean it. When the platform is there in a good way, that this, see, I also serve this knowledge, which is why I don't wheel it out and sell it, on a market stall covered in dust. Serving the not truth is to present it in a way that is suitable, like a ring.
Mm.
And so your Ralph Ellis's and other people have provided a beautiful mold that you now can set the diamond in it that sets it off properly. And as part of my nature has wanted that, rather than screeching it from the rooftops. There's a sort of delicate work, like a Swiss watchmaker, to bring this forward, to do justice to these people that I'm talking about. I really do. In fact, that's the main motive why I do things, is because to honor the names of the people in the past. If somebody was to say to me, what is your great theme or motto or edict? It is that the past is the repository of truth, and that there's not one thing you need to worry about or fret about, when it comes to the great problems in front of us. Actually, they're quite simply fixed, even if it's a very deep, complex spiritual, conundrum like we just talked about the idealists. It's all been solved, mate. It's all been done by minds far fucking greater than us. And all we need to do is to preserve it, to honor it, polish it up a bit, maybe rephrase it slightly, in a modern idiom. That's the work I've set myself to do, and I know I've done it well. I know I've done it well. Otherwise, I don't think, this Unslaved would have manifested. Everything was in its right time. And when you contacted me first about saying, let's, take the concept and make it into this, it was exactly the right time. So personal big thanks to you, David, for, seeing the direction and committing to it and putting all your energy. I mean, fuck, it was just not possible without your help and without all the member support as well. So it's really come together in a really good way.
Well, the honor's mine. I'm put on this earth to be a pain in the side of anybody of these liars too. So, I've already drawn my sword and put it on the table, and I'm here to the end. So this is a project that, it's funny. This project tested me in many ways too, and I'm glad it did. And the reason it tested was to make it better. And so we're just going to keep building. We're only episode 140. Wait till we're episode 1040.
Why not?
So whatever it is, and we'll just keep her going. And again, thanks to all the members, and you guys are always awesome in the chats. Love seeing you. Great people, and lots more coming. Lots more coming. Next couple of weeks, we're going to be hitting up on the astrological element again, and so very much looking forward to that. And then we're going to be also bringing out some very, very interesting information and some damning evidence against the black nobility. So that'll be coming down the pipeline, and you got some other premiums on the way as well. So lots to keep everybody busy with. So stay tuned here on Unslaved. Michael, that was a brilliant show. That was amazing. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch it, and we'll catch everybody again next week. Cheers, everybody.